Good evening, everyone. I'm Krista with the Chamber, and thank you so much for being here. It is wonderful to see so many familiar faces and many new ones as we come together today to celebrate Support Your Local Chamber of Commerce Day. It actually is that day. I did not make that up. Check Facebook. Today we recognize the vital role that chambers play across every community, fostering collaborations, encouraging growth, and supporting the businesses that make our regions thrive. Here in Crawford County, our chamber is proud to be part of that mission. We are one of the oldest chambers in the United States. We may be known as the Fun Chamber, but we are much more than that. Each year we host 9 signature events, along with monthly after-hour gatherings, business women's roundtable meetings, human resource and hot topic roundtables, ribbon cuttings, anniversary celebrations, and grand openings. We take pride in being active, engaged, and always ready to connect people and ideas. We're also one of the few regional chambers to have both a foundation and a leadership program. Some of you may not know this. And that's something we're especially proud of. Our foundation helps connect local youth with business and community leaders, teaching valuable soft skills and offering after-school programs, summer camps, and career readiness fairs that inspire the next generation, trying to keep them here in our region. Our leadership program, now in its 16th year, brings together individuals from all sectors to learn about their own leadership styles, strengthen their skills, and experience behind-the-scene tours of Crawford County's most dynamic businesses and organizations. It's a program that has even inspired other chambers to foster a leadership program after our own, a true testament to the impact we've made so far with our program. None of this would be possible without our members, our partners, and our community supporters. You are the reason our chamber continues to grow, to adapt, and make a difference. Your collaboration and commitment fuel everything that we do. So today, as we celebrate Support Your Local Chamber of Commerce Day, I want to simply say thank you. Thank you for believing in the power of partnership, for showing up for your community, and helping us build a stronger future together. If you're not a member, we'd love the opportunity to welcome you into our chamber family. Together we can continue to support local business, strengthen our community, and keep Crawford County moving forward. It is truly a joy to look around this room and see so many incredible women gathered together. Ladies, look to your left, look to your right. Look behind you and in front of you. What do you see? What do you see? I see an amazing and diverse group of women. Mothers, daughters, sisters, spouses, friends, colleagues, mentors, and leaders. We are business owners, professionals, community advocates, and entrepreneurs, and we are so much more. I am personally blessed to look out and see so many familiar faces. My family, lifelong friends, colleagues, chamber and community members, and so many new faces. That's what today is all about: connection, collaboration, and celebration. We are here to lift one another up, to support, inspire, and learn from each other. Whether you are just starting your business, growing your career, or leading an organization, you belong here. Our community is filled with remarkable women who lead by example. Women who innovate, create opportunities, and make a difference every single day. Just look around our region. Women are managing businesses, leading organizations, and shaping the future of our local economy. Today's Expo is a celebration of that success and potential. It's a chance to network, I hope you all did some of that, to share stories, I know you all did that, to showcase your talents, many of you have done this, and to walk away empowered with new ideas and new connections. Before we begin our program, I'd like to take a moment to thank those who make this event possible. Our sponsors, they are listed in your program, but we could not do all that we do without these people. So thank you to our premier sponsors, Allegheny College, Channellock, Excelic US Meadville, and Kinetic Internet. Our platinum sponsor, Home Instead. Inspiration sponsors, Accutech Precision Aerospace, Armstrong, Crawford County Convention and Visitors Bureau, Meadville Medical Center, NWPA chapter of NTMA, TL Robertson Insurance. Our spirit sponsors are Accounting Done Right, Blue Canopy Marketing, Erie Bank, First National Bank, Inspire Salon and Spa, Northwestern REC, TNT Coverage Connection, and the Gilday Group. And that amazing chocolate on your seats, big thank you to Finney's Chocolate Shop. So can I have a big round of applause to all these folks? I want to thank all of our vendors for being here. We couldn't have this event without you. We appreciate you. And our media partners, including Armstrong, Kevin, the lonely man in the room, thank you for always being here. And for helping us to record this event so you can watch it again if you'd like to. Or tell your friends that don't watch it. I often hear when I'm in the grocery store or somewhere out and about, "You're the chamber lady, I watched your event," or "I heard you on the radio." Yes, I am the chamber lady. And of course, very importantly, a very special thank you to your chamber team. Stephanie Beach is our communications coordinator, and Julie Panchora is our marketing coordinator. Thank you so much. Amy Godwin is our program coordinator for the Crawford County K-12 Career Education Alliance and had another event to attend to. I am incredibly proud of the team that I work with every day. We're at work more than we are at home. And I love going to work. If you know me, you know I love my career and what I do. And I love the people that I work with. Not only are they the chamber team, I'm proud to call them friends. And I went off my script. Let me get back. Before I get teary-eyed. Okay. So as we kick off this year's Women in Business Expo, I invite you to take advantage of every opportunity. Meet someone new. Share your story. Celebrate with the women around you. Because when women come together, incredible things happen. Ladies, if you've been part of our Businesswomen's Roundtable group, attended at least one meeting, and all of them that we have, please raise your hands. Thank you so much to those folks, and those of you that haven't raised your hands, I hope you raise your hands next year when you come back. We have these meetings the fourth Monday of every month at a different chamber member business and get to learn about that business and share our stories with one another and help support, uplift one another. It's a very welcoming, embracing group. It's not your typical get 20 women in a room and it's catty. It is a remarkable group of women that are friends. So thank you for being here, for supporting one another, and for being a part of this thriving community of women in business. And enough of me, part of the reason you came, our incredible speakers. I will start with the first speaker. And oh, what a privilege it is to introduce this woman. She's inspired me both personally and professionally. I first met Bonnie when she was one of the people interviewing me for the position that I'm in now here at the chamber. She was part of the hiring crew. From that very first meeting, I knew she was someone special. I'll always be grateful that she was part of the hiring committee that helped bring me to Meadville to continue and grow in this career that I love. From day one, Bonnie has been someone I admired. A voice of wisdom, honesty, and encouragement. She's the person who tells you what you need to hear, but always with kindness and care. I appreciated the fact that I could always go to her and ask advice or opinion, and she would tell me what she thought, even if I may have needed to hear it a little differently, but she said it with kindness and care, and I respected that and appreciated it. Over time, we've become not only colleagues, but friends. Professionally, Bonnie is a true powerhouse. She's the vice president of Kuhn Tool and Die Company, a company she has helped lead and grow for over 30 years alongside her husband, Ken. She's been an active member of the National Tooling and Machining Association, otherwise known as NTMA, since 1991, serving on numerous teams, including the nominating team, membership, technology, and many more. Her leadership extends well beyond her industry, She's given her time and her talents to several community boards, including the Chamber of Commerce Board, Economic Progress Alliance Board, and Meadville Medical Center Board. This year, she made history, being elected as the first woman president to serve as the chairman of the NTMA, the National Tooling and Machining Association, not just in our region, nationally. She is a trailblazer, a mentor, a leader, and the kind of woman who lifts others up as she climbs. And if you've ever met her, you know she does it all, calling everybody honey and making you feel like you've known her forever. So please help me welcome Bonnie Kuhn.
Hello, everyone. It's very, very kind of all of you to be here, and I'm looking forward to telling you a little bit of my story. As Krista said, I was part of the crew that got her to be our chamber director, and I'm very thankful that that happened. Thank you, Krista, for everything that you do. My NTMA friends are here to support me, of course. My girls, as I call them. And anybody that knows me knows that I say honey all the time. Everybody's honey. I'll tell you a little bit about my past so you know where I am and how I got there. When I was 8 years old, my dad had a heart attack and couldn't work anymore. So I thought, I'm 8, I can go to work. So I started working at my uncle's farm so that I could help make money. And I continued to work until I turned 13. When I turned 13, I was old enough to go to Conneaut Lake Park. And I worked at Conneaut Lake Park probably 6 days a week. And on the weekends, when the conventions came, they would have the guys come from Ohio or other places, and they'd have conventions. So they'd put a $100 bill. I got to work the conventions. They'd put a $100 bill in the middle of the table and put a coffee cup on it and say, if you keep it full, you get that 100. I went, this is easy. So I kept the cup full, the cups full. Go forward another year. I'm still at Conneaut Lake Park, and my dad says to me, honey, I can't drive you back and forth anymore. My car doesn't work. And I said, okay, well, let's go buy you a new one. He says, I don't have the money. I said, but I do. So I went and bought my dad a car so that he could take me back and forth to work. And I tell you, ladies, this not to get you to feel bad for me, but to help you understand there isn't anything that we can't do. You just have to figure out the way to get it done. So, go forward. I now have 4 children and 13 grandchildren. So I'm very, very proud to be mom and grandma, but I'm mama to a lot of other people too. When I look at our company, I'm very thankful that I get to be with my 2 sons that are in our business and my husband. He and I have a very different relationship. There aren't many manufacturers that can work together. Husbands and wives, that's not really heard of to have that. Oops. That's not really heard of to have in manufacturing, is the husband and wife working together. I know when I go to national events, I have people ask me, how do you work with your husband? It's like, how does he work with me? So we have a great relationship. So NTMA has helped me in so many various ways. In 1991, we started, well, that's when I started at our company, and in 93, I went to my first NTMA event, learning the ropes of NTMA. I was always told you can go out and party, but you have to be up to go to the meetings in the morning. And I made sure that we did that. So today, when we go to conferences, that's the thing that I have told so many young people, and they look at me and go, oh, okay. And it's like, no, honey, you really have to be there. So I think one of my proudest moments was, I've had so many. Last week, I was at our conference, and I had a young man come up to me on Thursday. The conference ended on Friday. And he came up to me and he says, hey, he says, I just have to tell you, I talked to somebody, tried to get them to come to the conference, and he says, I told them there were five reasons why I come. And he says, well, list them. So he texted them to him. And he says, well, he texted me back and said, who's Bonnie? And I looked at him and I said, are you kidding me? You know, you came here to see me. He says, you're the mom of the organization. And I went, oh. And he says, so I'll see you December 9th in St. Louis. And I said, yes, you will. Manufacturing is something that there's a lot more women in it today than there were. It's not the old way that it used to be. I think that there are more people, engineers. I mean, we have a lot of engineering women, a lot of managers, owners. It's absolutely incredible to hear other people's stories. I think that's, you know, each of us sitting in this room have a story. And I could go on and on about some stories, but I'll go back to our company. So 10 years ago, we bought our building, and we decided that it was going to be a move from a 10,000 square foot building to a 41,000 square foot. And my husband said to me, well, if we fail, it's your fault. I went, okay, no problem. So there wasn't a choice for failure. And today, it's full. And we're taking on another project. So we'll be starting a different division of Kuhn Tool. And at 66, I didn't think that that would be something that I would be doing. It's like, hey, people, when are you going to retire? Yeah, I'm not going to do that for a while now. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the growth, to helping my son succeed. Who knows, maybe my grandchildren will get involved with it someday. But for now, it's just me helping the kids. And we have 23 employees. I'm sorry, 24. I hired a guy 2 weeks ago. I'm looking for another employee, so if you know of anybody, send them up. But how can I empower you guys? How can I make you feel important? Each of you are important. So you just have to, you know, I tell these girls, it's in here, okay? If you have faith and confidence, you can get through anything. But you have to love. So that love comes from within. And if it comes from within, you're going to send it out. And that's what's helped me get through a lot of my everyday dealings. I have my accounting firm back here. I've got so many people in the room that are here to support me. And I really, really and truly appreciate it. Our next speaker is going to be incredible because she has a different kind of story. But Krista, would you like to do the introduction?
I will, but I would love for you to tell everyone the advice you gave us at lunchtime today that you would give to any young person.
What was that? And I've not had a drink, ladies, not one drink.
I didn't mean to put you on.
No, it's fine, please.
Just do it.
Oh, I did. Be Nike, just do it. Because, it's that fear that keeps you from succeeding. And I'm telling you, that fear is in everybody, but you've got to overcome it. It's what will help you be successful.
Sorry, I put her on the spot. And now, there are some people who radiate warmth and connection the very first time you meet them, and our next speaker is one of those people. When Kathleen Layer moved to Meadville, she attended a women's group meeting and immediately became an active and inspiring part of our community and our chamber. She quickly became a familiar face at chamber events and programs, not only attending the events, but supporting, volunteering, and uplifting others as a true chamber champion in just a short time. Kathleen is currently part of the Leadership Meadville Class 16 and a proud recipient of the Tony Boca Memorial Scholarship. She brings authenticity, kindness, and a gentle confidence to everything she does. Kathleen is a master certified health and life coach and a certified intuitive eating counselor who specializes in helping women create a peaceful, loving relationship with food and their bodies. Through her coaching practice, she empowers women to break free from the exhausting diet cycle. Absolutely. Feel confident in their own skin and reclaim the mental space that negative body thoughts often steal. I think we all need an hour with Kathleen. Every woman. I think that's great. Since 2019, Kathleen has helped countless women heal their relationships with food and themselves through one-on-one coaching, group programs, workshops, and speaking engagements. And I'm sure you can see her at her booth after this if you'd like to know any more about what she does. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Kathleen Layer of Kathleen Layer Coaching.
Okay. Whew. All right. I am a little nervous, so bear with me. But I did. Do I see Sarah Miller out here? Yes, girl. Sarah Miller, if you were here last year, she was one of the speakers, and I asked her earlier today what words of wisdom she had for me, and she said to just enjoy it, which I thought, like, who is the life coach here? Because that is exactly what I needed to hear. You get to these things, and it's this moment that's this big thing that you're excited about, and you really want to do any kind of personal growth thing, anything that you're hoping to do, any goal that you're trying to achieve, and then you start thinking about it, and it's this thing that you've really wanted, but then you start feeling really nervous, and then you start feeling all the very uncomfortable emotions, and you want to get the thing over with sometimes. And so to hear Sarah just be like, you know what, enjoy it, I thought, okay, that's what I'm going to try and do, and I hope that you guys do as well, so thank you, Sarah. But when preparing for this speech, I figured the only way to really kind of encapsulate the work that I do and what it really means to ourselves, to our health, to our lives, is by taking you guys back a little bit. So I remember being in 5th grade, 10 years old, comparing my body to one of my best friends, wondering why even when we wore the same clothes, from the same store, in the same size, they looked different on her. In 7th grade, at a birthday party, as everyone else headed to the pool, I stayed back so I could see what size pants my friends wore and how they compared to mine, feeling a wave of relief when mine were smaller, and what I didn't realize at the time, but shame whenever mine were not. Sitting on the trampoline in 8th grade with a group of friends, sharing a pint of Healthy Choice mint chocolate chip ice cream. Does anyone remember Healthy Choice ice cream? Yes. We giggled every time we took a bite, celebrating the fact that it was 0 grams of fat. Sophomore year of high school, looking in the mirror on spring break, wondering why my shorts didn't fit the same way they did last year. I tugged down at my shirt to cover up the newfound body puberty so kindly gave to me. Freshman year of college, spending Friday nights at the gym, Googling, what do Victoria's Secret models eat? And taping inspirational photos on the mini fridge to help me stick to my very first diet. We are all women here, we're all humans here, we all have bodies here. In a society that tells us every day what they're supposed to look like and what they're not. I don't have to tell you how this felt. I don't have to paint the picture. I know we can all relate to the constant comparison, to the belief that our bodies aren't good enough as they are, to the desire to be thinner, prettier, better, to be more like her. I'd go on to spend almost a decade navigating this complicated relationship with my body, which naturally turned into a complicated relationship with food. I'd go back and forth between acting as if I didn't care, what people thought, what my body looked like, what food I ate, and obsessively caring. Tracking every morsel of food that went into my body, working out every single day, trying diet after diet, lifestyle change after lifestyle change, wellness trend after wellness trend. You guys know the drill. On paper, I was the healthiest person ever. I was the friend that people went to for nutrition advice, for motivation to work out. Friends, family members, colleagues constantly said to me, "How do you do this? I wish I had even a tiny bit of your discipline. You must feel amazing every single day." Eventually, I knew what I was doing wasn't healthy, masking disordered eating and exercise behaviors under the guise of health. And in the quest to make my body smaller, I made my life smaller. Everything I did, every action I took, every thought I had was about health, was about the food I ate, the workouts I did, the body I had and didn't have yet. Every book I read, podcast I listened to, social media account I followed. In a world that felt chaotic and uncertain, this was something that I could control. I could be the picture-perfect vision of health. I could have the picture-perfect body. I could spend my days looking at Whole30 recipes, researching detoxes, and calculating my macros. I could make sure every piece of the puzzle fit. And I'd be praised for it all the time. My work ethic, my dedication, my discipline. 9 years ago, I was invited to go on a 2-week trip to Cambodia and Thailand with one of my best friends from college. This would be about 5 months before I found intuitive eating and body acceptance, which is the work that I do today. I'm a traveler. I absolutely love it, but I will say I'm not a huge fan of the planning process of it. Too many decisions, too much pressure, and for someone with a tendency to be kind of lean towards perfectionism and also easily get overwhelmed, planning an international trip is not a great recipe for me, but she had the entire thing planned out. All I had to do was buy a ticket and follow her lead. It was the perfect scenario for me. So why did I hesitate? It wasn't the money. I was living at my parents' at the time, so rent, groceries, all the expensive stuff was taken care of. It wasn't the logistics. My friend had planned every single step of that trip out for us. It wasn't the long plane ride or the fear of being in a new country. The thing that held me back, the thing that put my brain in a full-on decision-making spiral, was my diet. How could I possibly stick to my routine in Thailand? What would I eat? When would I work out? I was hesitating on a literal experience of a lifetime because I was afraid of going off my diet. This is what I mean by my life becoming smaller. Believing a diet or a routine or a lifestyle is more important than living your actual life, is more important than having real lived experiences, is more important than doing things that fill you up, enrich you, broaden you, connect you to something bigger than yourself. Thank God I decided to go on that trip. I decided not to let airplane food or my inaccessibility to a gym for 2 weeks keep me from experiencing one of the most incredible trips of my entire life. I will say I still spent a lot of time on that trip in my head. A lot of time thinking about food and my body. A lot of time wondering if I should have just stayed home. But I will forever remember this one moment at the very end of our time there. We were in Bangkok and we were coming home the next day. And there were so many nights on that trip where I opted to go to bed early because I didn't want to ingest unnecessary calories. Or I opted out of trying the food or having the drink or whatever it was. So many times where I was an unnecessary ass to my friend, because it felt like there was a constant battle in my head, wondering if every choice I made was the right one or the healthiest one. But that last night, I felt all of the energy in my body change. I felt my shoulders relax. I felt the air in my chest completely exhale. I felt my being settle in. It was like the future me came up, hit me on the side of the head, and was like, "Excuse me, you are in Thailand, girlfriend. Like, go have fun." The weight of the world that was stamped on my chest lifted. I felt so light, so happy, so excited, so present. I felt free. Now I want to clarify, this was not cheat day free. This was not pseudo freedom. This was not conditional freedom. This wasn't, okay, we have one night left, let's take advantage of everything we possibly can and just go crazy because the diet starts Monday. This wasn't letting loose before the punishment. This was a moment where all of those expectations were gone. A moment I didn't need to prove myself. I didn't need to justify or calculate. I didn't need to make up for anything. I just was. I was just living in my body, as me, existing. When I was little, I dreamed of being so many things. A fashion designer, a marine biologist, a music producer, a writer, a Disney Channel star. That's still on my list. So. I had so many ideas, passions, and interests. But the one thing I knew was that I wanted to make an impact. I wanted to do something different, outside of the box, and I wanted to be the one in charge. I grew up watching my dad run his own business, seeing the world of an entrepreneur firsthand, and it seemed like the only way to be. But as I fell deeper and deeper into diet culture, and the belief that not only was my body not good enough as she was, but that anything I wanted, success, love, happiness, confidence, it was all tied to the size of my body. We learned that the solution to any of our problems is a lower number on the scale. But after years and years of following that path, I realized that that solution wasn't getting me anywhere. That the thing I thought was the solution was actually the problem all along. Forcing my body to be a size it was never meant to be, chasing a body that was never meant for me, that wasn't going to give me confidence. That wasn't going to give me happiness, clarity, strength, success. It would just leave me chasing forever. In a previous life, I worked in digital marketing and project management. I had a decent job at a decent agency. My salary was okay at the time. Friends seemed to envy the culture and flexibility that I had. But the best part, it was really easy for me to stick to my diet at this job. I had a whole routine around it. And I remember sitting at my desk one day, knowing all of those dreams I had as a little girl were still there, knowing I was meant for something bigger, knowing I was capable of so much more, sitting there thinking, well, this is fine. As long as I'm thin, I could just let those dreams go. And that breaks my heart. That for so many years, my big dreams were set to the wayside, replaced with clean eating and an unwavering desire for six-pack abs. I work with women every day in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, who have spent decades and decades believing their purpose on this earth is to look a certain way, believing that they are not worthy or valuable or deserving of the life that they want unless the number printed on a piece of cloth sewn into their pants reads what it did when they were in high school. In April of 2017, I stumbled on a podcast talking about intuitive eating, less than 5 months after my trip to Thailand. I listened to that podcast on my drive from Columbus, Ohio to Meadville, Pennsylvania. Moving here for the first time with my boyfriend, now husband, not knowing we'd be engaged just a few short hours after I arrived. Thank you. I needed that. Intuitive eating invites you to listen to, trust, and treat your body with respect, to accept the body that you have with love. We don't all need to be a certain size or look a certain way. Health is not a shape or size. And a life free of the constant food and body chatter is a life you deserve to live. I spent the year of my engagement in full enjoyment. Where the old me would have spent her time calculating the best diet and workout plan to become the smallest version of myself for my biggest day, the new me reveled in food tastings, curating playlists, and not giving two you-know-whats about the size of my dress. I spent that year living instead of hiding until I thought I had a body worthy of being seen. In October of 2017, I enrolled in a program to become a certified health and life coach, ultimately so I could become a certified intuitive eating counselor. And in February 2019, I launched my coaching business with a mission to help women feel comfortable, confident, and empowered in their bodies, to feel freedom, peace, ease, and enjoyment around food. To teach women how to look in the mirror and have pride be the first thing they feel instead of the urge to pick themselves apart. I look out into this group tonight, the incredible women in this room, women who have followed their dreams, built businesses against all odds, been through so many trials and triumphs, women whom I feel so honored to be in community with, to be in the same room as, many of whom I get to call my friends. You guys are amazing, but what is it that I hear most when we talk to each other? How you hate your arms, you don't want to be in the picture, you couldn't possibly have that cupcake or that slice of pizza, how you need to lose a few pounds first. Do you guys all know who you are? Like seriously, how courageous, compassionate, creative, capable, intelligent, innovative, resilient, kind, loving, determined, inspiring. These things have absolutely nothing to do with your body or what you look like, and everything to do with who you are as a human being. We look in the mirror and see ourselves through the lens of whatever society says we're supposed to look like today. Is it stick thin or strong, curvy or straight? What's our hair supposed to look like? Our eyebrows? Should we celebrate our age or hide it? What's the next thing we're supposed to worry about, cover up, fix? I don't know about you, but I am too damn tired. I saw a video last week of a woman at a comedy show. The comedian asked why she was there and how old she was, and she shared that she was 78 with stage 4 cancer. He went on to ask if she had a bucket list, and what was at the top. She said to lose 40 pounds. I'm not sure how much time she had left, but I assume it wasn't a lot. And the thing that kills me here is not her desire. I don't judge her for that. Of course, that's how she feels. But the thing that kills me is that we live in a society that tells women the greatest thing you could ever do with your life, including the very last days, is to fit into a smaller body. I'm not standing up here telling you to spend all your days eating cookies and ice cream, although both are delicious. That's not what I preach, that's not what this is. But there's an astounding difference between taking care of yourself and living your life from a place of celebrating your body versus a place of punishing it. At any size, any shape, any age or phase of life. I often ask my clients what their lives would be like if they were never taught that their bodies aren't good enough as they are. How would that change things? How would your life be different? How would it change the way you think and feel about yourself? How would it change where you spend your energy, how you show up in the world, what you do, what you don't? Like, truly imagine that if we were never ever taught that anything was wrong with our bodies. The freedom of allowing people to simply exist in their bodies. The full body exhale that would bring, to not carry this pressure anymore. To no longer live as an object to appease others, but to use your body as an instrument to experience this beautiful life. I went from trying to control my body to connecting with her, meeting her where she's at, trusting her, celebrating her, surrendering a decade-long battle, and finally being on the same team. It was never when I was trying to shrink my body that I lived my best life. It was never in the belief that my body wasn't good enough that led me to more success, happiness, or confidence. You cannot create love from hate. You cannot create confidence from lack. I was missing out on life when I believed the only purpose of living was to be in a perfect body. They say letting yourself go is the worst thing you can do. Ugh, she really let herself go. But letting go was the best thing I could have ever done. Because when I let go, I was finally able to let myself in. I was finally able to let my life in. Everything I wanted, the career, the purpose, the love, whoop whoop, the direction, the desire, the home, the family, the confidence, the impact. These things weren't waiting for a version of me that physically took up less space. They were waiting for a version of me who believed I deserved those things as I was. They didn't come when I was trying to be smaller. They came the second I stopped. Your purpose is not to take up less space. It is not to be smaller. Your purpose is to live bigger, brighter, bolder, braver, whatever that means to you. In a world that constantly tells you you aren't good enough, that the requirement of being a woman is watching what you eat and what you weigh like it's the freaking Super Bowl, I invite you to wonder, just for a moment, what would be possible, what it would feel like to let it all go. Don't forget who you are. Do not forget where you came from. Do not forget the person who got you here. Everything you've achieved to today, everything you've experienced up to today, she is enough. She's doing enough. She's everything that you need. Trust me. It's never too late to come back to her. It's never too late to come back to your body. From experience, I know she'll welcome you with open arms. Thank you.
Now that I'm teary-eyed after that. If you know me, you know part of the reason about that. Wow. Oh, I need my cheaters. Sorry. Big round of applause for both of our speakers. All of our sponsors that make this event possible, thank you so very much. We could not do what we do without you. To all of you that were vendors and part of this event, I hope you enjoyed the event. I hope you want to come back next year. We appreciate you very much. To all of you that are here, again, look beside you, to your left, right, behind you, in front of you. There are some remarkable women in this room. Thank you to the Country Club and the great team here. We appreciate you very much. Thank you to Armstrong. And beside me, I have Stephanie Beach and Julie Panchira. Could I please have a big round of applause? And all of you have a little card that was on your seat. That is our next big signature event. That is our Meadville Chamber Auction. We will be at the movies at Meadville on November 12th. And there is something for everyone. It is a free, fun evening at the movies at Meadville with probably close to well over $75,000 worth of packages. We don't even have them in, but I'm going to say we're going to have well over $75,000 worth of packages. No pressure. Hold me to that. No pressure if you donate something. But we would like to have as many of you there enjoying great food from Hunter's Inn, desserts from Save Room for Dessert. Happy anniversary to Mary Melvin this week. Where is she? Is she here? Happy anniversary for Save Room for Dessert. My go-to girl. Thank you so much. Just had a ho-ho cake last night. Thank you, Mary. My family thanks you. See, I'm loving the body that I'm in. Oh, and this is televised. Great. So, the auction, back to that, November 12th, mark your calendars. I hope you join us. There are packages of anything, advertising, trips, anything from $100 to $7,500. Join us, it's a fun evening. And on the back, Groove and Glitz. That's our event in January. And the Groove, the amazing band out of Erie, will be at the Oaks on January 10th. And it's a great evening with food and fun and dancing from when they start to when they end. And thank you to Excelic for being our Groove band sponsor. Thank you so much, we appreciate that. I want to mention Ladies' Day Out because that's not a chamber event per se, but it is a women's event that is fantastic for our downtown merchants. So that is Sunday, Christine, Sunday, November, the first Sunday in November.
November 2nd.
November 2nd. I will be your greeter at Chateau Christine, marking your cards that day from my dear friend. But it's a really fun day downtown, ladies. So please come support the downtown. And thanks, everybody. Have a safe trip home.
Thank you, everybody.